Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it with 13th, not colony, actually 13th century whiskey. Yes, 13th century whiskey, but
all I got is bourbon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. But before we dive into everything 13th century whiskey, let me give a quick update for the channel. Had a few long-time subscribers reach out. They're like, Judge, what's your next barrel pick coming in? So always love to try to give an update. So for our next barrel pick for the Bourbon Judge community, for our Patron community, back in December, we went out to Ohio and we did a barrel pick with Middle West Spirits. So we did a Middle West Spirits. It's a wheat whiskey. So it's the first time a wheat whiskey Bourbon Judge pick with Middle West Spirits. So really excited for that one. That's coming out in the next like 7 to 10 days. So definitely if you're interested in becoming a patron, go ahead and just check me out over on Patreon. When we picked that one, I would say it was A-okay. It was absolutely amazing. We always pick great barrels on our side. Always picking great barrels. All right. So how did 13th century make its way into the courtroom? Honestly, in full transparency, in many ways, kind of by mistake. So fun, cool story. One of my patrons was over. I had a patron event back in December, right? So I had a patron event back in December, and I literally just got back. Actually, fun enough, I just got back from our Middle West Spirits pick, and like, you know what, for all my local patrons that are in the Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey area, we had a patron happy hour here, or really a patron event. We had a blast, had food, had a whole bunch of whiskey. One of my patrons who actually lives in the state of Delaware, my buddy Gene, shout out to Gene. Gene was like, Judge, hey, I'm coming to the event and I'm going to bring a bottle that you've never had. He's like, I'm bringing this 13th century whiskey. I could have swore he said 13th colony. I was like, all right, I think Gene might be pre-gaming a little bit, and I think Gene had already had some whiskey, right? But he was like, no, Judge, seriously, I'm bringing you 13th century whiskey. So the whole time, you know, when he came over, I'm still there. I'm still thinking that he's bringing 13th colony, right? Which, of course, I've had 13th colony. I love 13th colony. Actually, fun story, doing a barrel pick in a few weeks with 13th colony as well. But I thought he was talking about 13th colony. Lo and behold, no, it was 13th century whiskey. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pour this. So let's get into everything 13th century whiskey related. So first and foremost, the bottle that Gene brought over, the really cool thing about it, it was in the shape of a barrel. Like truly the whiskey was in the shape of a barrel. Very cool. It was hollow on the bottom, which this one is too a little bit as well. This one though, on the inside, you can't see for probably right now, but I'll throw in a picture. It actually has like the shape of like a still on the inside. So that's pretty neat. So when he brought it over, we had it. I was like, this is pretty damn good. And he was like, Judge, you need to get it on the channel. So I reached out to 13th Century. They were kind enough to send me a bottle to go ahead and get on the channel. Let me pop this. Ooh, man, goodness gracious. Jeez. Judge needs to hit the gym. There we go. That did not want to come out. All right, so what do you know about 13th Century whiskey? So essentially, they're based out of Colorado. They are sourcing their whiskey from Indiana, and they're very transparent about that, which is cool. I'm okay with that. They're sourcing it from Indiana, so obviously MGP. But the cool thing is that they're aging it and bottling it in Colorado. So you get that whole Colorado, like the elevation and so forth. So you get like, you know, those different elements. So they're aging it and bottling it out in Colorado. So that's pretty cool. Let's pour a little bit here. What else comes to mind about 13th century whiskey? So not only are they aging it and bottling out of Colorado, again, very transparent that they are sourcing their whiskey. They actually make a ton of different things. They make rye, like standard regular rye, finished rye, bourbons, finished bourbons. They make an American single malt. They have American single malt. They have obviously some double oak products. They have a cigar blend, and just like a whole bunch of like various different like finished products in general, bourbons or rye. The one I'm reviewing today though on the channel is just their straight bourbon whiskey, cask strength, barrel proof, coming in at exactly 135 proof. So really excited. The cool thing about this one, not only the fact that they age it and bottle it in Colorado, the other cool thing about it is that they actually age their whiskey in small 30-gallon barrels, at least for this one in particular. Small 30-gallon barrels. So I would assume it probably gets a lot more oak because it's all just kind of really kind of confined, if you will. So that's pretty cool. So very interesting. Let me get into the nose of this one. So 13th century whiskey. The challenging part about 13th century whiskey is that it's honestly kind of hard to find. Hence the reason why I never heard of it until my buddy Gene happened to bring it over back in December. So it's only available in select markets. You got Colorado, Nebraska, both the Carolinas, like so North and South Carolina, Texas, and then online via Sealbox. So they have like a partnership with Sealbox. So if you go to their website, you can buy some of their available products directly online via Sealbox, which is pretty cool. So let me get into this one real quick. Ooh, nice nose. Very like sweet, sugary, like very almost like a confectionery sugar meets like a brown sugar and leather at the same time. Very nice. So the mash bill in this bad boy is 88% corn, 7% rye, and 5% malted barley. So I'm expecting, which makes sense, right? A higher percentage of corn in the mash bill. I'm definitely expecting that sweetness, which makes sense. Hence the reason why I'm getting that confectionery sugar meets like a brown sugar meets like a leather kind of a note. Very nice. Ooh, very sweet on the nose. Some caramel. Actually, a good bit of like peanuts as well in the nose. So it's like both the sugars, the confectionery, the brown sugar, almost like a peanut note. The leather as well as the oak also. Not bad at all. What's the age on this bad boy? So this one's aged 5 years. All right, here we go. Yeah. Aged 5 years. And they actually age it in, which is very interesting because it's a blend of, they use barrels with char levels, charred 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Very interesting. All right. Let's get into this one. Hey, real quick, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know, have you tried this 13th century product? If so, what are your thoughts? And also, if you tried anything else, let me know what you think as a whole about 13th century whiskey. And then finally, please make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right, here we go. Cheers. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Damn. 135 proof. Oh, yeah. That's sweet, bold, and vibrant as well. The cool thing about, let me get one more sip. There's one thing in this that I think I found in the back of the palate that I didn't really get in the nose. Yeah. That's actually kind of a cool thing, actually, in a way. It's almost like, so in the nose, I had like that sugary note. The confectionery sugar, the brown sugar, the caramel, the leather, the peanut. In the mid palate and the end of the palate, I get everything that was in the nose. All of that is there. The cool thing about it, though, is in the palate, which I didn't get in the nose, there's almost like a subtle hint of like a popcorn, almost in a way. Like a popcorn, almost like a salted popcorn kind of a note, if you will. Very salted, type of a popcorn kind of a note, blended in with all that sweetness. That's actually very nice. Let me get one last sip. By the way, I should get into the MSRP. MSRP on this one is, depending on where you get it from, is anywhere for this particular product, anywhere from like $95 to about $100. Just kind of depends on exactly where you get it from. But most places, most times you find it, is probably closer to like that $95 mark. All right. Cheers. Ooh, very sweet, but I love that little popcorn note in there. That's actually really nice. This is not a standard mash bill that you often see from MGP. And the fact that they age it and blend it and bottle it out of Colorado is completely different than most MGP profiles. Not like the majority of the other MGP stuff that's out there. on the market. This is very unique. Damn, keeps the judge going back for another sip. So I think we're heading in the right direction. One last one. Cheers. It's bold and vibrant. What's this, 135? So it's 135 proof. I would actually say it probably sips, even though it's bold and it is barrel proof, I personally would say it sips closer to like maybe 120, 122, maybe 125, right? It's only 5 proof points from being hazmat. It's not on that end of the spectrum. That sweetness kind of tones it down a little bit to make it sip closer to like 122, 125. It's very rich, it's very sweet, and it has that popcorn note. This is one I think is actually, judgment is in. This is a buy. This is pretty damn good, actually. Goodness gracious, I'm gonna pour a little bit more. Hey, if you've not had 13th century whiskey, go online, check them out, grab a bottle. Worst case, look for it like at a local bar. You know, a lot of times most really good bourbon whiskey bars or bourbon bars always have like, you know, great products like this, ones that you don't see each and every day. Definitely check it out. Worst case, get a friend to send you a sample. This is pretty damn good. Going back for more. Hey, Gene, I guess you were right. It is 13th century whiskey, and it is pretty damn good. Hey, friends, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers, and most important, salute. Take care. See you guys.